Anderson looking to replicate conditions out there on the SCG in the rooms. Suddenly a slippery, moist football. Working with Setanta O'Halpin.
We've got a commemorative coin for the Will and Kate wedding tonight. So we've got heads with the heads, crown is your tails. Okay? Yeah. So Chris, you might want to catch it in your hand. When you're ready, Chris. It's heads. All the best, guys.
Do I get to keep the coin?
Jared McVeigh wins the toss. Now, a commemorative coin celebrating the royal wedding news there, and replica coins will be available in the Herald Sun for our Melbourne viewers. That's tomorrow. New look as far as the Sydney Swans are concerned. Two South Melbourne jumpers circa 125 years ago to tie in with their new signing of their sponsors, and their sponsors celebrating 125 years of existence. That's QBE, so well done. Miserable night, as the boys told you, here in Sydney. Rain has been falling consistently since about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Late changes to Yarran and Hampson, withdrawals from Carlton, ditto with Grundy. And the rain continues to fall on what is a vital game. We've got the Blues and the Bloods, eh? That's close in terms of billing for tonight. Not quite.
You see as players walk to their positions, both Pike and White are actually deep in the Swans forward line with Goods, who's also a marking player. So certainly not conditions for overhead footy. I don't know how long they'll both be out there, but with only 3 in the chase, they probably have to be out there most of the night.
Umpires Stevick, Chamberlain and Jeffrey, and away we go. Friday night in Sydney. Warnock had the football momentarily, socked away by Kennedy. Murphy knocks it forward in the opposite direction. Hanbury still going as Jack over the football. We'll see a lot of this tonight. Gibbs going nowhere, and we'll have a ball up.
As Brett Ratton mentioned, it's going to be the 3rd, 4th, 5th bloke who finally clears the ball. You just got to keep getting you there to support.
Gibbs, the first kick was smothered. Simpson, the second kick was smothered. McVeigh gets a clear kick inside the forward 50. It floats down towards full forward. Pike, a late inclusion, digs it out, missed by Bolton. Carrazzo close to the boundary line. Laidler, and the ball goes across and out of bounds. Carlton haven't won here since 1993. That's remarkable. It's a cold case.
It's hard to imagine, isn't it? They got very close last year in the elimination final, so they've lost 10 straight in Sydney, 7 at this ground. The other 3 at ANZ Stadium. McVeigh, Jack and Judd.
Getting a good look at the Sydney forward line. We've got Pike deep in the full forward, and Goods playing that sort of pivot point between the arcs. So a 2-man forward line at the moment for the Swans.
So Warnock got to the front. Mumford won the tap. Almost went to get a clear kick and then tried the dummy, didn't work. Judd got it forward. O'Halpin bashes and crashes his way through. So we've got Irishmen on both teams tonight. Good hands coming out from Bird. The kick by Matner to about 45 metres. Goods had a fly. Simpson with him. Down to you, Tim.
Sam Reid's been really impressive as a forward this year, but because of the absence of Grundy tonight, he's gone to centre half back and is picking up O'Halpin.
In the family's DNA, boundary throw in. Tap behind the pack by Mumford. Comes forward to Kennedy. Got a cruel bounce. Good to see Kennelly back. Pushes it towards the boundary line. Stays in play. Curnow met solidly by McGlynn. Tough hombre, and the ball spills out of bounds.
John Longmire has spoken about trying to stop Carlton's outside run. So it looks like Hanbury has been given the job on Simpson to try and stop that ball carry.
Well, outside run may not be the key tonight. Here's Judd inside. Hammers it towards midfield. O'Halpin falling to the ground. Socket off the ground. Well, trying to was Garlett. Now free kick to the man on the ground. That's Shaw.
Too high. Thanks, Eddie.
Reece Shaw. He's moved from Collingwood and had a very good fist of it. He's on the wing.
Kicks to half or Goods the target. Oh, big fly. Oh, had a little bit of it. Curnow brought down in the tackle.
Good intent from Adam Goods early. He's launched it a couple of balls. Probably not the night to be taking the big contested pack mark, but certainly imposing himself in the aerial contest.
So White the job on him now. Bird squeezes it out in Goods' direction. White and Pike, 2 of the big guys up forward. It's going to be fascinating to see if that tall forward line does work for Sydney tonight. So Laidler to bring it in. No score. It's going to be a problem here for the Blues. Back to McVeigh. Brought down in the tackle. McGlynn with the first chance, and he's got the goal. We'll see a bit of that tonight.
Then
See the turnover there, crucial part of the ground. If you're going to switch the ball, obviously, particularly in these conditions, switch wide. Anytime there's a contest, Sydney have been the premier team in the competition in that area, and kickstart their game tonight.
Good play, McGlynn. He's like the Energizer Bunny. Just keeps on going, loves it in close. And Simpson, another kick smothered. He butters up again. Hannenberg grabs him.
Mine.
Finds Chamberlain to ball it up.
to mention that the kicking error by the Carlton defender, I mean, it's just about playing the percentages tonight, isn't it? Make sure you don't give the opposition a chance in their forward line.
Warnock, quick hands. Scotland gave it to Gibbs, floats it inside the forward 50, bounces off the chest of Richards down there, cleared towards the boundary. It goes out of bounds by Reid, or was it Smith? Yeah, Henry Smith.
And that's the perfect example of playing the percentages there. The better option, obviously, would be to clear it lower along the ground if you wanted to get it out of bounds, not high like that.
Ellard, right half forward, penetrating kick. They come from all directions. Well, Halpin was up in front. Richards leads back in the race. Feigned a hand pass, then kicks to the outer side.
Spot on, Dennis. He was clever there, Richards. Did very, very well. Jamieson attacking, long bomb, and he's missed the lot. Well, if the Blues are to win tonight, they're going to have to outswan the Swans, aren't they? It's as simple as that.
It's almost a territory night, isn't it? You just got to keep the ball in your part of the ground, and it might take a lot of disposals, a lot of hard work before you can finally generate a shot.
The Swans have had experience already this year in these sort of conditions at this venue a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday night against the Cats.
Mumford didn't disguise that very well, so the advantage given, the Warnock free kick, the fly over the back. Betts with an early chance. He's got it. Eddie's got Carlton's first. It's all square at the SCG.
It was the free to Warnock, but the play on advantage call. But kicking the ball long, and most of the time Crumbing players have to go to the front of the pack. That's where the ball comes most of the time. And in wet conditions, running to the back's not a bad plan.
Rucks go at it again. Scotland, been busy already, threw himself in. Keith falls on the footy, going nowhere. So Eddie Betts, starting the night, he'd kicked 4 goals in 3 games against Sydney here at the SCG, and 11 in 9 overall. So no big games for Eddie against Sydney. Standing up in the tackle, the hand pass came forward there from Smith. Falling over Ellard, that ball wedged between his legs, Bolton in there somewhere.
It's interesting, Carlton have got Betts and Garland in their forward line, and if you've got your 2 small forwards, really, you'd have to be working as a pair saying, OK, I'll go to the front, you go to the back. So we just try and get both sides of the marking contest covered, because they're not going to mark it too often.
Robinson was the 3rd man up and knocked it about 10 metres. The umpire calls for it again. Get set for plenty of this tonight. It is like a tug of war. Could have almost been a free to Mumford there, who was tugged. Comes across towards Scotland, spinning out of trouble. Kennedy moved it about 10 metres. Robinson goes back. Moore overran the ball, gets his second chance. But Nuggety Moore moved off the line of it. Robinson is there, gathered by Gibbs, spills it. Grabbed by Laidler, well done, handled it well. Kicks to the outer side. Bird, tackled by Murphy, holding it. Gee, Murphy's having a good season.
Bird in the hand, 18.
Ah, yes.
Time back.
Can you just slip me those on paper, Bruce?
Blue Bloods on, still laughing. That was clever. Here's Walker, centre wing.
Hang on.
Plays on quickly, gets the ball to the pocket. Richards. Good contest made from the front by Waite. And there's the cricket wicket here at the SCG. They had the covers on, didn't they, until about 10 minutes before the start of the match, but there's been a lot of rain in Sydney for a long, long time. In fact, there must be a race meeting tomorrow because they've had heavy tens for the whole of the autumn carnival. Kennelly off the ground. Joseph had to wait, just gets it forward, and then Jetta goes bang, and there's not many people there. Here's the race. McVeigh, Gibbs and Goods. It's like the Olympic final. McVeigh off the ground. It's a goal. Not gold, goal.
Yes, we can't even see McVeigh. He's about off interchange about now, and now it's just the 100-metre foot race. And he got there first, but it was very wise, the inside of the foot, just to control the slippery ball.
Back in the centre, Warnock knocks it down. A free kick is going Carlton's way. Advantage is paid. Murphy breaks away, goes down towards half forward. Walker, body to body with Matner. Both of them went to ground. Brilliant pickup by Richards. Having a good start to this game. Sends it long down towards right half forward. At the last moment, hands in the back. Well, the ball had cleared both of them. White was coming up, opposed to his marker down there. White. I know it's confusing, just stay with me. But White's got the footy and drives it back towards half forward, close to the boundary line. Did it go out on the full? No, it bounced out. Good judgment. We'll have a throw in.
Both sides have actually adjusted quickly to the conditions as they have to be. Just kick the ball long, get the ball as far as you can if you get a chance to kick it unpressured.
So Warnock wins the tap against Pike, and then Jetta slung down in the tackle. See those CPs, the contested possessions. Carlton have been good in all those areas this year, but they're playing a team that is number one. Bolton's kick forward. Dygan just had to search for it. Jetta. He struggled a bit the last couple of weeks, but he's had a good start here.
We just saw the contested possessions, but I think it's fair to say that every possession is going to be contested. I mean, if it's just contesting against the element, there is not going to be an easy ball at all tonight.
Well, this is the 14th stoppage already, and the game's only 11 minutes old, so this will be the trend for the night, no doubt about that.
Simpson punched it, then Russell did. Bird over the football. Ellard's got him. Ball is somewhere behind the pair. Well done by Kennedy, a star in that elimination final last season as the ball bounces out of bounds.
The rule where the player who falls on the ball has to get it clear is really valuable in a night like this, because otherwise it'll be pack after pack. But players know if they're lying over the ball, they just got to knock it clear.
Interesting, Kennedy played 13 games for the Hawks, not one of them against the Blues. Of course, as I said, started last season, and he started well again tonight. The ball is on the outer side, trapped by Reid, trying to get to a voice. Intercepting though is Robinson, taken down. In the opposite direction comes Smith, socket off the deck by Robinson. Runs free, Simpson, yet to get a clear kick. He squeezes this one down towards the pocket. Coming up on the burst is White, and the ball is out of bounds.
Well, what's happening here is we've basically got all the sides converging in the middle of the ground, and each side having one key anchor forward, if you like. So the side that can break away from the stoppage in the middle of the ground should be able to get it into a one-on-one contest.
So Halpin and Pike, two late inclusions do the ruck work. Back goes Kennedy to Bevan. Bevan has an airy little toe poke from Murphy. Wait, well done. Ellard's kick to fall forward. Contest O'Keefe. Ball spills out of his hand. Shaw. Clever kick, actually. That was really well done. Looked out of the side and found the Irishman. Kennelly directing traffic. Can he get it over the back to McVeigh? Well done, Dygan. McVeigh tried to work him over, and Dygan belts the ball out of play.
Really knew exactly what McVeigh was trying to do to get the ball over the top and make it another foot race. Exceptionally well played by Dygan.
Like a little cult, those hairless Sydney players working it along our grandstand wing as the kick goes towards midfield. Falls in front, gathered by Carranza, kicks inside the forward 50. Outnumbered is Walker, needs to break free, can't, tackled across the boundary line by Matner. Margin 6 points. Swans on top. The rain has not stopped since we started this game, and a lot of it this afternoon as well. Mumford directs it down out of the congestion. It's kicked up towards the wing by Kennedy. Got a whistle, and a free kick is going to White. So White midway between the lines, centre wing and half forward, just chips in very short, and Laidlaw marks it.
Never want to give a 50-metre away, but I reckon tonight it would be the Cardinals sin, wouldn't it? Because meterage is everything about this match. Smith kept it in. Kennedy onto the boot quickly. White's got it. That's a White. The blue,
Blue, white, red, white.
Oh, we were okay.
I'll handle it, please.
You've got that under control. So Goods and White into the pocket. Simpson lurking. Betts with him. Down low was Matner. Handball came from Hannah Bree. And then O'Keefe gets it out. Carranza underneath. Goods couldn't quite. He's had a bit of a night like that so far, Adam Goods. He's attacked it hard, hasn't quite been able to take a clear possession. Hanbury, well done, but Jamieson all alone for the moment.
He's in right half back. Jamieson unloads towards half forward then. Going back is Simpson. Well, almost the involuntary mark. It hit him twice. And it's going to be a free kick, and it's going Sydney's way, is it?
Stop. High contact.
Yes, Keith will take it. It was good by Simpson. He was bracing himself for contact going back, and the ball came through everybody as players passed him en route to the footy, and it struck him, but he couldn't hang on. That's going to be a problem all night. Very slippery, and now we've got contact down the ground. Advantage is paid. It was going to be a free kick to White. He gave it to Dygan. Well, this may turn out not such a great advantage. Well, O'Halpin did okay. Back to Dygan. So the numbers tell the story, and they make amends. Gibbs can't trace it back too much further. Taken by O'Halpin. There will be mistakes tonight. Nothing can be taken for granted. Bounces inside the 50. Oh, courage by Robinson on the ground from the prone position. Betts into the path of White. Beat the ball, goal. Oh, how about that? You won't see a worse passage of play this season, but they got a goal.
Yes, another over the back. I mean, the ball is just slipping through the hands of all the marking players. I mean, Adam Goods has thrown himself at the ball a couple of times, but you're not going to be able to leap at the ball and take possession. Really, to mark the ball, you've almost got to get flat-footed and just try and watch it in your hands. But once it got over the back, again, a Carlton player ran onto it.
We saw it here with Roberts. This is a great effort. Didn't concede, just got the ball going forward, put it on the boot. Eddie Betts then taps it, pushing forward. An ugly goal, but that's about as pretty as you're going to get tonight. Really effective play. Not a marking night. The Swans actually yet to take a mark. Just get the ball forward at all costs.
Gee, I reckon the Blues, both their goals have been within about 1 metre of the goal line, haven't they? They haven't kicked a long goal, that's for sure. And of course, McVeigh kicked one off the ground earlier, and McGlynn after a mistake. So the Blues doing okay here. It's getting heavier, this rain. Bevan, Smith down low, Carlton inside their 50. It's a good place to be. Well done by Jack. Bolton gets it forward. O'Halpin, Mumford, terrific. Simpson, little kick forward going to Betts. Tried to tap it on to Murphy. Waite getting involved. Bird got down low. Murphy and Goods. Well, I was going to say Goods did well.
Yeah. Knew exactly what he was going to do.
Murphy short to Waite. Got him. This will be interesting. First time we've really seen a set shot for goal tonight from any sort of range, isn't it?
Well, it hasn't been a contested mark yet. I don't think it'll be a contested mark all night, to be honest. That this is the classic case, I think, of players know you can't get attacked from the front, so most players are putting their head forward and waiting for the contact, trying to earn a free.
Well, he gave a free kick away, but he won't be suspended. He did the right thing, and Waite always to the skinny side. Carlton lead, though. It's 13-12.
Players certainly know how to exploit the rules. They know they're protected from deliberate contact head-high when they got the head over the footy. So they're going even harder head first at the footy because they know they've got that protection.
Past halfway on the turn, Shaw. Smith, hard against the boundary line, towards the wing. Having to wait for it, McGlynn. Juggled attempt at the mark, couldn't complete it. O'Keefe down towards the attacking 50. One out is Pike. Tried to soccer it forward, or at least thought about it. Now he goes back inside. Off the deck by Jack. Loose ball, and this will skid. It runs on and goes through for a goal. And Joseph crashes into the fence.
Really good effort here by Mike Pike just to get the ball forward. We just see Kieran Jack play the percentages, and on a dry day this ball could bounce anyway, but you know when the conditions are like they are, always bounces straight, so just aim at the goals and shoot.
Warnock out of the centre. So Jack gets his first goal for the season along with McVeigh, Betts, and neither of them had their hands on the footy when they kicked it, so that's sort of a night. Crowd obviously getting as much shot as they can.
To see the mark stat there, Sydney yet to take one yet. They do rank 17 at the moment, but I don't think their form is that bad.
Yeah, the Blues with 5 marks and the Swans without one so far. Dygan's kicked to about 55 metres. Kennelly got a hand on it. Gee, Smith was good there. Gets through. Can the Swans take their first? No, well done, Jamieson. White just brilliantly runs away and goes and hits the post. He's quick, the big guy, isn't he?
Well, they're going to have plenty of height in there unless they have a ruckman basically on interchange all night. They're going to have a couple of very tall forwards, but both Pike and White have shown a bit of ground level agility for big fellas.
In these kind of conditions, it's almost the percentage to dribble the ball through from that distance as opposed to get it through post high. So might have been better to run along the ground.
Gibbs out of the back pocket. Clears the big guys. It falls behind. Trying to ferret that ball out was Jack. Went to ground. Warnock, good evasion. Slips a hand pass to Judd. Running on is Walker. Well, put the ball on the deck and the umpire let them play, and it goes out of bounds at the interchange gates. Let's go down to 10.
We're going to play smart tonight. That last stoppage in Carlton's forward line, Garland actually was up near the stoppage at half forward. Then Shaw, who's his direct opponent at the moment, he took him to the goal square. I'd be leaving the goal square open on a night like tonight just so you might be able to dribble one through from an errant kick.
And we've seen a bit of dribbling tonight that it's gone through, haven't we? Judd off the ground. Ellard back to Scotland. Almost a clean possession. Ricocheted off Jack, and then Jack gets a bit on that to centre half forward. Pike makes the contest. Moore off the ground. Back it goes to Kennedy. Kennedy's handball, ambitious. Curnow. Gibbs squeezes one out to centre wing. Races on him. Hanbury and Simpson, a couple of left footers. Hanbury keeps his feet. Simpson overruns it. Hanbury's little left footer going forward, and that'll go out of play. But he's gained 35 metres on one-on-one, so that's a good contest for him.
Approaching quarter time. 6 points the margin.
Just looking at the tackles there, 24 apiece. The season high is 111, so you think that might be in danger tonight.
Judd advances at about 20 metres. Simpson's beaten everything. Not to much effect. It's taken by Jetta across the body. Hangs a long time as it floats down towards the pocket. I think it's going to be a free kick. It's going Sydney's way.
Yes, Bryce. Yeah. Having a push. Where you are, it's good. Time back on. Right where he is, Jared.
So Moore will take the kick. This should be about accuracy. Nothing easy tonight. Bear in mind the boots are wet, the footy is wet. Need to strike it right. Moore comes in, and he strikes it right. Sydney stretch their lead.
It's high scoring in a way, isn't it? I mean, 4 goals in the opening 10 for the Swans.
Ball's still travelling. Both sides have been prepared. Just kick the ball to space, open up their forward line, and just kick the ball in there, try and make something of those half chances.
So the Swans get the first real break in this match. Out to a couple of goals. Jack slung off it. Gibbs goes to ground. Mumford, Murphy flung out. Gibbs gets a second crack. Goes forward. Wait attack. Well done, Kennelly. Richards has been terrific. Wins a free kick, the advantage, and now Smith with it. Smith to about 35 metres. Russell had to go back, and it'll be a boundary throw in. But the Swans pressing hard here. Russell picks himself up a bit sore. Kicked that telling goal against the Crows, didn't he, late in the match last Saturday night at Etihad.
Smith has made a bright start in defence several times, breaking free after some good work to get the ball. He's used it on the outer side, bit of juggling out there. Eventually the kick comes down towards half forward from Bird. In front, McGlynn left it behind. Judd, half chance. Knocks it to his own advantage. Well, sort of. He certainly attracts a crowd. Soccering off the ground was Jack. Only as far as Russell. Well played. Beat a man. Kicks towards half forward. Controlling the football well is Walker. Twice. And then flicks out a hand pass towards Robinson. Looking for support back over the head of Murphy. Taken by Matner. Now Bird's got it on the outer side. Punishing kick towards... And a terrific mark taken by Moore. That qualifies tonight for His Highness Award. The ball inside the 50. Opportunity for Goods. Spills towards the boundary. Swept inside by White. Well, Goods was measuring the penalty. Couldn't get his boot to ball. In the opposite direction, Laidler applies a tackle on Kennedy. Grabbed in there by Russell. Floats it back outside the defensive 50.
It's coming back though, Dennis. O'Keefe to fall forward. Moore was spectacular a moment ago. Carlton over the ball. Good call.
That's the first contested mark for the game officially, and that is a really big grab. With a dry ball, it's a good mark, let alone a damp one.
That was Laidler on the bottom a moment ago. Yeah, that was spectacular. We won't see anything like that again, I don't think, but don't switch off, but it's going to be a good game.
It's actually as good a mark as you'll see. I mean, it was obviously spectacular, but given that was their first mark for the night and the conditions, the degree of difficulty very high.
He's had a good first quarter. It's his first AFL match for the season. Kicked a terrific goal after a free kick, and then that jarred. McVeigh gets a second crack, goes to full forward. Moore slips over this time, and then White just off him, and then a boundary throw in. There we go. Perfect.
So boundary throw in. Warnock battles in front with White. Goods had it, then lost it. Spinning out of trouble, Scotland, upended by Goods. He wanted a free kick, stopped playing the ball. It goes across the line for a behind. So Sydney stretch it now. They've doubled the score of Carlton.
Just got away with it there, the Blues. They actually had the back of the stoppage open, which is very dangerous at any time, but given these conditions, all it needed was a surge forward, and Adam Goods almost got through.
Russell to himself, kicks it outside the defensive 50. Taken care of was Warnock. O'Halpin behind the pack, aligns himself with a goal and kicks it down towards half forward. Coming across on the angle is Richards. Now I wonder what he was trying to do. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Done well, Richards. He's handled the ball cleanly so far tonight. Pike front spot. Simpson. Pike did well. Second crack. Gets the ball into the heart of this cricket pitch area. Jetta so quick. That's nullified, you'd think, a bit tonight. Can he pick it up cleanly? He does. Well done. And then Jetta's handball is out of play.
Just had to kick it.
Yeah. Great talent. There's a few Swan Districts players out there tonight, aren't there, from both the teams, he being one of them.
And of the few, he's got the best moustache. It's of the three amigos, I reckon. The ball goes up towards the wing. Well, they both had the same idea. It was like a chorus line, and the mark is taken by McVeigh. How about that? So McVeigh, right half back. Swans up by 13. Takes something off the kick. He sends it down towards right half forward. In front, Goods. 2-3 goes. Not endearing himself to the umpires tonight. Slapping it away, Jamieson. There's no mark there. He was juggling the footy, but Jamieson arrived in the nick of time. Satanta O'Halpin will do the ruck work. Battles with Pike. Pike first hand of the ball. Satanta actually dived on it as Scotland was about to pick it up. Ellard got a hand pass. Curnow feeds it back. White running out of space along the boundary line. Scotland can't keep it in.
See, there are omen tips everywhere tonight, aren't there? Thinking about Scotland and Carlton playing at Princes Park, and there's a long list. For the Blues at the moment. Tried him by a couple. Obviously you didn't like that one.
I didn't mind it.
I heard that in your opener. Here's Bevan with Betts. And Bevan paddling to the line and the boundary throw in. No, out on the fall. So the Blues need a late goal here. Can Betts provide an accurate type of kick? Matner, well done, belted it away. Only as far as Curnow. Curnow, pull kick. Matner couldn't quite take the mark. Wait, over the top. Joseph, that's a goal. Woo. Well, that was some sort of a kick from there.
Just see the contest here. It's just Lewis Jetta just getting drawn to the ball, and Joseph playing the percentages and flipping out the side and getting the handball over the top. Just when Jetta we're talking about now, just getting too close to the contest and freeing up a loose man in the Carlton forward line.
Meanwhile, back at the game, after the bounce, McGlynn into the path of Bolton. Gibbs gets lower. Bolton gets Gibbs. Well, he did dive on top of the football.
You must knock it clear.
Pretty tough call tonight, but it's the call. O'Keefe drives it inside the forward 50. Time for a late score for the Swans, trying to soccer it out of there was Ellard. Opportunity for Russell, spills across towards Laidler. He just kicks in hope towards the outer side. Sprinting across is Smith, like his game. Good pick-up. Oh, great tackle too by Waite, who arrived in the next stride. In fact, it was too high, was it? So it's against Waite.
Next day then.
Slipping high as they went to the ground, and Waite, or rather the man there getting the free was Smith.
He's had a lot of the ball in the opening term. Ellard's little toe poke. Scotland. Dygan. Down the line. Garlett did well to accelerate past Mumford, but he didn't do so well when the ball got to him. And now Shaw belting forward. Good kick. McGlynn. How clever McGlynn is at getting over the back. We see it a lot, don't we?
In the game against Essendon earlier in the year, Matt Richardson was down on the boundary line and was really impressed with the way McGlynn pushes up, but then has the ability to work back and always get over the top. And we're seeing it early tonight. Certainly, that's his preferred avenue towards goal.
Well, he's already kicked a goal in the opening turn. He's 6 goals won from set shots this year. He's kicked 9 goals all up, 6-1 from set shots. Now, this is tight. Good kick. That's a beautiful kick. That's a terrific quarter for the Swans. They've kicked 5 goals in tough conditions here. So, Friday night at the SCG, Sydney lead Carlton in an entertaining match in tough conditions. It's 32-19 in the big game on the Friday night.
Friday night football, not pretty. We didn't expect it to be with this rain. Sydney on top 5-2-32, 3-1-19 Carlton. Equal biggest lead of the night. McGlynn has booted 2 goals. He's the Swans' leading goal scorer this season with 10. Now, Tim Watson is down there as we take a look. Access all areas with a guy who relished playing footy in these conditions, Tim.
Yes, Craig Bolton would have loved being out there tonight. Perfect conditions for a backman, perfect conditions for the Sydney Swans.
Yeah, we've had a good lead in against Geelong a couple of weeks ago in the wet, and the boys did okay in that game, so I think it's going to be a real arm wrestle tonight, and the boys should be really well scored for it anyway.
Well, they played the percentages so well, don't they?
Yeah, we've got that in and under sort of hard midfield, and I think that he'll really come to the fore tonight. Hopefully it'll restrict Carlton's outside runners as well, like Murphy and Gibbs and those sort of guys.
You were an outstanding defender when you were playing. Sam Reid's taken up the role tonight for Heath Grundy. How do you think he's gone in the first quarter?
Yeah, he's held his own, and he actually played most of the year in reserves last year down in the back line, so I'm sure he'll do well tonight. It's going to be a good opportunity and a different look for him playing down in the back line.
Bolts, congratulations on your career, 199 games. I know you're going around in the, I think it was going to be a car, might be a tractor at halftime now.
Yeah, I hope it's a four-wheel drive. I might tip out of it, but yeah, 199 games, but one more than your esteemed colleague Tom Harley up there, 198, Tom. So yeah, good at that rate.
Well done,
Bolts.
Cheers.
Commiserations all round from the fact file too. Thanks, Tim. Craig made his debut under Lee at Brisbane, round 1 2000 against Carlton. As the ball goes out of bounds on the far side on the full.
Thanks, Chris, right where you are.
Judd tends the mark, and Jack's got the footy. Well, he didn't seem to go anywhere, but Jack told to play on. He kicks beyond the wing. Goods cleanly away from the body. In his hands, he drives inside the forward 50. Carlton need to hold here. They'll get a free kick, I think. It's going to Jamieson, who played in front.
Thanks, Mikey. That's fine.
So Jamieson, good grab by Adam Goods here. Ominously, he looks in very good nick tonight. He missed a few early when the rain was pouring down, but his approach to the ball's been great.
Holding the ball. Playing advantage.
So you heard that against Jack. Goes to Walker. Walker to about 45 minutes. Good mark by Shaw. Played it beautifully on Garlett.
You'll find early in the quarters on wet days the ball is still relatively dry, so if you can execute the skills early and get on the scoreboard, that'll be a real bonus.
Warnock's high fly. Jack was waiting at the back boundary throwing. So the Swans lead it by 13. Jack is a tough guy, just hurt a little there. It's the highest score kicked against Carlton in any first quarter this year. Which says a lot in these conditions. They've been fast starters, the Blues, except for that one game against Essendon.
Kick it around the corner.
This season, Jackie's
He's
still
done a good job on Judd in the first quarter. He's just got a little bit more effective than Judd, but he's a bit hobbly now.
So at the throw-in, Warnock trying to get it down to Judd. He was tackled by Bolton.
Too long.
Held too long in the tackle, so Chris Judd coming up to his 7th possession, just outside the 50. Bacon goal square, and spots that and sends it very high, about 5 metres out. Walker, hands in the back.
Hand in the back.
Quick thinking by Judd, but the hands in the back definitely there. Umpire saw it. Sometimes they'll just hear the squelch tonight as the ball comes out close to the boundary line, off hands. Picked up there by Kennedy. So much of the football, 10 in the first term. Most on the ground, sliding in Laidler. Nowhere to go with the footy, and the umpire calls for it. And there's Jack. And that's a big story if suddenly Judd is off the leash, because this guy, he does play very close.
Absolutely. There is Judd getting a touch to it. Carazzo, McGlynn down low, Kennedy, Matner did well to just pave the way for Kennedy, and then Bolton and Scotland out the back. Garlett tried to push forward. Joseph got the ball about 20 metres forward. Matner strong on Simpson. McVeigh, good hands. Matner can run and deliver here. That's a lovely kick to McGlynn.
Hold, Cloud.
Jetta running hard, going for goal almost, getting back more, and Pike, well, a bit stiff there, and then died and cut off by Goods. His acceleration so impressive there, Goods.
Just a bit of experience there. Dygan waited for the ball to come to him. The conditions have probably dictated that tonight, but a cardinal sin. Adam Goods, some more experienced play. Just watch it here. Great closing speed. Read the cues, knew the ball was going to drop short, and just popped in front of Dygan to take the intercept mark.
We know the ground's wet. We know the ball's a bit damp, but the ball's flying from end to end pretty well. Sydney have had 9 and inside 50 entries. Carlton 18. Certainly the ball is actually moving up and down the field, and the Swans have got 2 big guys on the field up the forward line, White and Pike. If they lose Jack, their running power is really depleted.
Their sub is Everett, who's a sort of big guy too in a way, isn't he? Can play in a lot more positions than the other two. Goods has struck that. He's just given it a slide hook to get there as a behind. He just look. I mean, he's a great player. He looks in good form. Now here's a Jack's right ankle by the look of it.
Yeah, the ankle twisted under the tackle.
And Carlton need to exploit this. Kieran Jack was actually doing a really effective job on Chris Judd, and Judd was the player in that elimination final who really got Carlton going in the third quarter. So it looks like Ryan O'Keefe's running with him at the moment.
Jamison kicks it to the middle of the ground. Bird slides in, then paddles it out. Falling to ground, Mumford did brilliantly. Gave it to Shaw, kicks down towards the attacking 50. Caranzo was there, couldn't complete the mark. They're all gentlemen, the Carlton players. They step back. Kelly, or rather Kennedy, put it across towards Bolton, who's getting a free kick.
Andrew, he's got his head over the footy, got to protect him.
Jude Bolton. He's been a goal kicker this season. Sends the ball to about 30 metres from goal. The jump came from White, close to the boundary line. Robinson just pushes it across and will have a throw in.
One thing that is happening, I think, McGlynn's probably a good example of this. He's as a half forward for the Swans. He's getting up the field and getting back. The Carlton half forwards are pushing upfield, but I don't think they're getting back quick enough to help their forwards.
O'Halpin tried to lay it down. Murphy down low. Bird's tackle initially looked a bit high. That ball's still not coming out.
Fine.
Marks. Swans getting... They had none deep into that first quarter, didn't they?
It's the opposite of the first quarter indeed.
Yeah. Laidler. Scotland looked up, then tries to do something constructive. Matner's contested so well tonight. Walker front on tackle okay.
Fine. Right on.
About 3 or 4 minutes ago, the ball came in high. Goods was clever. He went early against the Carlton player and just held him down and gave his tall a chance. You flinched at the same time, Tom. I felt like you're playing on him for the moment. Russell tried to hack it out. Carazzo, good hands. Garland, up he goes. Now one-on-one. Can Wait do something here.
Well, he had it momentarily, kept it in front, but then lost the footing. And Sydney take it inside their forward 50. Going back is White. Bacon square runs on. No one got a boot to it. It's off hands are behind.
What makes Adam Good such an effective forward in these conditions is he can split a pack, he can launch at the ball, but he has that great speed and agility at the contest as well. So he's playing a key forward role, but also be able to mop up at ground level also.
Real testing time this for Carlton. Not that Sydney haven't got their problems. Jack off the ground. There's Russell. Sends this towards the outer side. Could have been hands in the back on White, falling to the ground. Richards goes looking for Jetta. He can't keep it in. And I think White making that point to the umpire. He felt the push. So a throw in just forward of the wing. Sydney's way. A hardy crowd here tonight, probably just over 20,000. McVeigh tracks it back. I would imagine most of the crowd Republicans as the ball bounces down towards half forward. Well played there by Goods, just flicked it over the top, then is held and will get the free kick. That was well worked. Nice little 1-2 with White. Just flicked it back to accommodate the champ. So Goods. This one offline, punched by White out of bounds.
Not sure where he was directing the kick then, Goods. I think sometimes if you can drop the ball 20 metres out from your goal, can't spoil it through from behind. Shots can open up from that pack situation.
Mumford wins the tap. O'Halpin does the roving and then gets as much distance on it as possible. Waite and Richards.
Holding. Stay there. Stay there.
Had a good duel, these two.
That's the mark.
So you saw the little tug.
And the one over the top.
Richards, Gibbs at the back. White, that's out of play. Tim, where's Kieran Jack at the moment? What's his chances?
Well, they haven't ruled him out yet, but he is grimacing at the moment. They've just taken his boot and his sock off and they're doing a little bit of retaping, but he does look like he's in a bit of discomfort. When he was running up and down the boundary line a couple of moments ago, he wasn't able to actually get up on his toes, so it is some concern. They're going to have to work out pretty soon what they're doing, because obviously they're down just to the two interchange players at the moment before they activate the sub.
Go for it.
Ranzo taken high, he'll get the free kick. Forward of the back pocket, little chip. Releases Scotland. He runs beyond half-back and kicks towards half-forward. Plenty of Swans back there. And interference on Smith. I'm not sure he would have marked that anyway. It was coming pretty quickly and he was backing back. He was out of position, but he was taken front on. So easy decision for the umpire. Short one to Matner. 34 plays 19, approaching the midway point of the second term. And Matner goes for distance. Kicks to just outside the 50. In front, Gibbs comes away with a crumb. Under pressure. Mumford did well. He effected the kick. Going back, Richards took a long time. Gave it to Kennelly. Kennelly kicks towards half forward. Reid will need to go. Big fist from Daigan. Got it in front. Taken by Gibbs. Full rotation. Hand passes to Robinson. Robinson to Daigan. Well played by Carlton. Ellard in two minds. Comes back to Scotland. Always good with the ball in his hands. Well, apart from that time, Matner's got it. On the break. Goes for distance. This will be interesting. White in front. Almost. White. It's rolling. He's sliding. It's nothing. Gathered by Laidler. Flicks a hand pass away. And the kick comes out from White onto the chest of Ellard.
If Carlton win by point tonight, we're going to replay that.
Yeah.
Because that was a big save and he thought about it for a long time. Russell's kick inside. Curnow back to Judd. And Judd gets it on to Robinson. Well, poor kick, but we forgive everything. Betts brilliantly done. And hooking and missing. Gee, that was a great pickup.
I'm pretty sure Laidler was trying to slide the ball through for that subtle rush behind. He couldn't slide far enough.
I still think some players are quite confused to what constitutes pressure or not. I think he was under genuine pressure, but it played exceptionally well.
In front, Simpson, knocked away by Bevan. Daigan, a hard man to bring down, boots the ball with intent, got it to Warnock. He fumbled for a while, now he kicks down towards left half forward, it's 2-on-1. But the ball goes out of bounds. It was Carlton who had the two. And Walker clatters into the fence. So the margin 14 points, it was 13 at quarter time.
Oh,
Contested game on and off the field at the moment.
Tough night. Pike's in front. Deftly lays it down. Murphy trying to spin through a little pirouette. Down goes Walker, rolls towards the boundary and takes it out.
this is where players have got to be, particularly Carlton players in their forward line, be prepared to pull clear of the congestion. If you've got one or two teammates in tight, you're better out in the space, hope you can get that easy kick.
Judd, who was singing the praises of Murphy earlier, here's O'Halpin. He fires and misses. But Murphy just 5 possessions so far. They need him to come to the party.
Interesting. It rained in the first quarter, lots of goals. It's not raining in the second quarter. No one can get a goal. That slippery slide he went over the back was pretty handy in that first turn. The ball just not carrying quite so far at the moment. Plenty of stoppages though. Free kick.
No advantage. 2 of you fell in his back. It's a free kick. Time back on. Wait, Jared.
So you heard the explanation.
Move on! Play on!
Shaw getting it almost to centre wing. Goods and White, Hanbury, McVeigh. Good little 1-2 there. Back to Hanbury, down the line. Mumford caught behind Jamieson. Jamieson did well. Got the right bounce. Runs away from Mumford. Kicks to Waite. Couldn't quite hang on. Robinson in hard. Good pick up Simpson. He's a left footer. Just puts it down on the ground. Waite's handball cut off by Hanbury. And then Hanbury keeps the ball in. Contest again, Simpson, brilliantly done to Judd. Judd to full forward, good kick off the boot. O'Halpin brings it to ground. Betts has looked lively tonight. O'Halpin getting down low. Betts wants to take it off him. Well done though by the Swans. I think that's Smith belting it out, or Bird it might have been. Yeah, it's Bird.
Close to the boundary line. Little fancy step by Joseph. Then he proceeds to put it out of bounds on the full. So Bird, involved moments ago.
It's also really impressive play down back by young Reid. We heard Craig Bolton talk about him at quarter time, evolving into a defender. Really smart defensive play in that contest.
Bird's kick towards the wing. Goods opts out of it. Up goes White of Carlton and just fists it across the boundary line. Well, Jack is going to try it, it seems. Heavily strapped, I'm sure, and maybe even an injection. But he's back on the ground. Chris Judd spotted him coming. Keith a chance. Down goes Curnow. In goes Kennedy. He's been terrific. Testing that ankle immediately. Jack got the footy. Terrific hand pass comes across to Kennedy from Bolton. Kicks it down towards the pocket. Foot race back. How will this one bounce? Well, didn't really get a chance. It was stifled by Jamieson back across the line.
So the Swans get it out to 14 points. Good transition possibilities here. Gibbs from the kick out. Waite, it's about the 3rd time that he's dived for a mark in this quarter. Hanbury back to Matner. So a couple of left footers combining. Matner wants this out of bounds. Will he get it? I think Lee Montagne's watching at home at the moment.
Wondering what he'd do.
Russell's kick inside. Sorry about the footy tips too, Lee. Back we go to Carazzo. Carazzo on the left foot to centre wing. Robinson front spot. Simpson, who's been on the wrong side for him most of the night, gets the ball back inside. Walker, good hip and shoulder. Waite getting down low. Pike was good, the Canadian. O'Keefe and Judd together. A couple of high fives there, and it'll...
Andrew Walker!
So Walker's free kick. So the Blues have a good chance here.
No, that's fine. Just settle down,
Margin
Andrew.
still
You've
at
got the
14
kick.
points.
Time back on.
Walker's got the footy. His blood boiling. He kicks towards the pocket. 1-on-1. O'Halpin dropped the mark. Butters up again. Tackled by Reid. Not before he got a hand pass to Gibbs. He tries to bounce one across towards Ellard. It was slapped away. Back comes Walker. Ran into a dead end. It's picked up by Matner. Tackled from behind. Well done by Reid. Just gave the ball across to Smith. He punts it towards the outer side wing. McGlynn in a race with Daigan. McGlynn tried to angle it across, but his benefit. The benefit paid there from the heel of Daigan. Now it's Moore. Squares the ball. McVeigh can run to the 50. Lines up on goal. It's not a bad looking kick. He's got it. No, it could have brushed the post. It did. Oh, rotten luck for Sydney.
It's great vision by Moore. He looked long down the line and saw Jeremy Laidler of Carlton sitting back in the hole. Decided to square the ball to an uncontested mark to McVeigh and just kicked the point.
A little bit of a miss kick there has come off from Jamieson. Curnow read it well. Carazzo belts forward. Garlick, good take. Attack the football. Running inside and not using the run there of Curnow. Kicks to centre half forward. O'Halpin front spot. Gets a second crack. Warnock leaves it for him. Robinson goes back for the handball, then concedes. McLean, oh, she's got a whack in the eye, maybe. McVeigh to Bevan. Bevan, 50 metres out. Kicks at the goods. No, cross. See, now the Swans have had a lot of points in this quarter. They're building a cosy lead, but Carlton, one goal could change a lot. 5-7 to 3-3.
Russell pops it in. 7.5 minutes out from half-time. Murphy.
Carlton's big forwards seem to be leading at the footy, but it's just not the night because you just keep taking the ball away from your own goal. Sometimes you've just got to draw it in deep in these conditions.
Coming off 34 possessions, Murphy, but he won't get those figures tonight. Curnow, not sure anyone will. Short pass from Joseph, rather, across to centre half back and Daigan. In two minds, Daigan decides to take something off the kick just over the head of Joseph, going back to the flight, put it to no man's land really. Kennedy overrun by Jeddah. Joseph again in the fray, kicks towards the wing, now a chance for Judd. Ample time to pick it up, lays it off to Carazzo, runs forward of the wing, probing kick inside the forward 50. Kennelly did well, knocked it away from White, taken by Betts, back to White, run deep into the pocket. Was it touched? Well, it came off the boot of Reed, who was well positioned on the goal line behind. This is a test for White. He's not the happiest camper out there at the moment. A few decisions gone against him. He's dropped a couple of marks, but so far he's bearing up well.
So again, free kick to O'Keefe against Judd. So it's 5 points to Sydney and 3 points to Carlton in this quarter. Here's danger. McVeigh quickly on. He had Goods running alongside of him. Wanted to get it into the 50 quickly. Moore gets it from White. Smothered. Goods. Turn. Went to ground. McVeigh goes back to White. He's running away from goal. Back to Goods. Clever kick. Must have been 15 metres exactly.
Just watching the Carlton defenders, their eyes were just tracking the ball the whole time, and Adam Goods' direct opponent, I don't think it was Andrew Carazzo, but just tracked the ball, and Adam Goods smart enough to know exactly where the space is. You see Jared McVeigh there getting in front of the ball.
It's interesting. He's in the contest here. We probably will see it, Goods, and actually went to ground.
Just watch him here.
Basically just stood there. He just actually stood up, and eventually White kicked the ball back to him.
It's a good kick, wasn't it?
And I think it might have been White of Carlton, who was a direct opponent, tracked the ball.
So Goods, who's leant back and missed it. So Sydney, not sure if this is going to come back to bite them at the end, but they've had a few chances in this quarter to put a really big space in this game, and they haven't quite done it. One goal to the Blues here would make a massive difference to this match.
Alternately, of course, a goal against them suddenly gets this out to potentially a match-winning lead. This is White. That one's stuck on the defensive 50. Just jabs it forward. Curnow close to the boundary line. 38-22. Carlton know the situation. They need to be careful here. Hillard's got it. The squad has built up since the game started too. Mark is taken by Betts directly on the wing, in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. Betts hugs the boundary line. Warnock edged under the footy. It falls in front. Bird with the outside of the boot bounces it back towards the wing. Goods was there. Did pretty well. Directed it across to McVeigh. He kicks inside the forward 50. White is outnumbered. Jamison went to ground into the path of Gibbs. He just flicks it across looking for support. Daigan overrun the football. Battling in there was Moore, but he was outnumbered. Jamison to the outer side. Shaw reaches up. Ellard gets a timely fist and knocks it across the boundary.
Playing good game, Reece Shaw across half-back, positioning himself really well defensively and winning his own football.
Ball comes to the back. Robinson did well. He created some space for Murphy. Ellard just misses Scotland. He'll get back onto it, Scotland. That one's smothered by Bolton. Well, Josh has just told me only twice before at the SCG we had a goalless term. Now, less than 4 minutes to go. Swans with all these points and Carlton with half of them, but not a goal between the two teams. Bolton Still Bolton. Had it for a long time.
Legal disposal.
So the Blues with a chance to go inside 50 here. Curno's been impressive, hasn't he, in his first season? Just so consistent.
Get on.
So it's a high ball to about 25 metres. Weight. Hands were everywhere there. Hanbury. Oh, he's missed Mumford. Betts getting in hard. Mumford taps it back. Reid gets a little one back. And Smith, boundary throw-in. Blues with their best chance right now for just about the whole of this second quarter.
You wonder where their goal's going to come from. Their forwards are sort of touch players, and this is not a first touch game, so they just don't look like scoring at the moment. It's probably going to be Murphy or Judd. One of those players has to be the ones who gets the scoreboard going.
Warnock directs it down. Taken high, perhaps, Carranza. Play goes on. Claiming it was touched off the bit of Robinson. The Swans weren't going to take a mark down there because their teammates were singing out to attract the umpire's attention. Out of defence, Matner runs it back outside the 50. Scotland head down. Pike was bearing down when the ball skids across the boundary line. Tough night for all concerned. Scotland stayed down there a long time, and Pike narrowly missed him. Warnock from behind, tapped forward by Mumford. Kennedy a hand pass away. Simpson went to ground. Mumford comes again. Hanbury over the shoulder, taken by Kennedy. Kicks it up towards the wing. Laidler and Goods. Offhands Gibbs. Jarred out of there by Pike. Taken by Goods. Foot race going back. Dygan. Oh, that's a good grab. Well, almost spilt at the last moment. As we said before, nothing can be taken for granted. Robinson goes to Curnow. Curnow kicks up towards half forward. Walker on the lead. Had it punched away. Could have almost been over the shoulder. Matner comes through. Touches it down once. Gets his bearings. Gets his balance. Goes inside the forward 50. Pike missed it. Getting back is Gibbs. Tackled by Goods. Jamison's away.
Hard to hold, but gee, it was a big chance, wasn't it? That's how hard it is to hold. It bounced off Walker. He's got to get it out to Curnow. Curnow's hands were good. The handball not so good. Kennedy back in. Bolton running hard. Delivering to Goods. Not quite. Gibbs, well played. He's been last man standing a few times in this quarter. Curnow again. What a first season player he's turning out to be. On the rookie list too. Kicks the ball almost a half forward, and Richards belts it over the line.
Contested possessions, Swans way, they're good in that area. Tackles 48-59, both sides tackling very well. We're getting plenty of opportunities to tackle. The ball's not travelling very quickly.
Bit of rugby union about that tackle there from Mike Pike, I reckon.
Curnow again. Bruce singing his praises. I think he missed half the season last year in the VFL. From memory, broke his leg as the ball goes out of bounds. So it's quite a story.
You have to be thinking for Carlton, how can we crack the Swans' defence? What player or players have got a chance of getting a few scoring shots?
Well, this is a huge goal and half-time bearing down on both these clubs. Scotland, if Sydney were to get it, it really makes it hard already for Carlton. If Carlton get it, they're right back in the game. Here's Walker trying to do exactly that on the goal line. Shaw slides in and deflects it across. A bit of theatre, and there's plenty of that tonight.
You've got Carrazzo playing on the half-back flank. I just think he's a pretty smart player who might be able to just... Well, they've got to really find someone who can get a score on the board. They just stop scoring completely.
Oh, Halpin works Mumford underneath it. Murphy. And Murphy tries to get it over the back of Kennelly. Smith to do the backup work. And then Smith, that's out on the full. So the Blues will get the last chance, you think. So not a goal scored in this second term.
Craig, the mark's back here, Craig. Mark's back here, Craig. Mark's back here.
Every time you see Carlton in this situation, they're very Chris Judd reliant to be that spark. He's got Ryan O'Keefe sitting on him at the moment, so a really tough individual opponent. It might have to fall to someone else to provide the grunt.
So you can see the clock. The Blues don't have long. Take the advice of the umpire. Can someone take a mark? Mumford nearly. Handball out. Kennedy down low. I think it's another boundary throw, and it is. Swans in a good spot right now. 15 points in front.
Clock stopped at 22. It starts again now. O'Halpin and Mumford. O'Halpin trying to expose the ball to the back of the pack. He did that. Allard grabs it, and there was the chance. Not easy. Nothing's easy tonight, but gee, that would have been something. 12 seconds to go to half-time. Allard set free by some good ruck work by O'Halpin against a quality player in Mumford. He got it down behind. See, even have a kick it to yourself. Kennelly outside the defensive 50. O'Halpin up, couldn't hang on. Curnow knocks it back goalward. Judd, Joseph to the pocket. It was touched. There's the siren. Allard kicks after the siren, so it's half-time. If you're wondering, Allard had heard the call of touch ball, so no point in stopping there. Sydney 5-8-38, Carlton 3-6-24. A goalless second term at the SCG. Slogging affair now. Still the game is up for grabs, but gee, Sydney have generally controlled the match. Had they kicked straight, it would have been all over at half-time on Friday Night Football. Friday Night Football, back come the Blues, trailing by 14 points collectively. 11 points between the two sides in that second term as we went goalless. Sydney led by 13 points at quarter time. Ben McGlynn has kicked 2 goals for the leaders. Josh Kennedy leads all comers with 19 possessions. Ed Curnow, the best for his side with 16. Not much a coach can do tonight. It's all about attitude and aptitude along with application. Here's Tom Harley talking with Carlton assistant coach Alan Richardson.
Alan, what was the final message from Brett Ratton?
We're really pleased with the last 10 minutes, Tom. We thought that contested footy were able to even the contest. Just probably kicking the ball a little bit too short too often. Our long to short ratios out of kilter a bit, so we'll probably go a bit longer now.
And Dennis Arnfield, the sub, is there a plan for him in the second half?
Well, we still want to wait. I mean, injuries are a massive possibility in these sort of conditions as they are in any week, but no, not really. At this stage, we'll wait and see. Probably around three-quarter time, we think.
Thanks for your time and good luck.
Good on you, Tom. So the activation there at least on hold. Sydney kicking 6 behinds in the second term. Carlton with 5. Goals scarce after what was a busy start for both sides in terms of kicking goals. Some of the players who haven't kicked too many this year for Sydney amongst their goal kickers scramble after the bounce. That is a lacklustre start to the second half. Most of those guys still back in the sheds, as they say. Now can they fire up? Knocked down by Mumford, off the ground by Shaw, came quickly to Hanbury, run down, gets boot to ball. Jack playing on with an injured ankle, run down from behind. Opportunity now for Sydney. More hand passes towards goal. Goods is through, bit of a fumble. Jack on the assist, bumped off the football. Moore was there. Gibbs in trouble. Warnock, the danger is past. Carazzo, and now Simpson released into space. Interesting, the rain has stopped. It stopped at quarter time, but immediately started when the game resumed. Not so this time. Garlett on the outer side. Kicks it into Kennelly. It bounces across towards Allard. Back to Garlett. Tackled by McVeigh. Not in time, though. Got boot to ball. Centred forward. Taken by Russell to Betts. Loops it over the top. Chance for Walker. And he kicks it behind. Good build-up that time. Saw perhaps the worst build-up of the season to result in a goal earlier. And they did exactly that, kick a goal off some sloppy work that time. They really carried it forward. Waite got that goal.
And I think one more hand pass and it would have been a certain goal, but he just couldn't quite get balance. Good chasing, tackling pressure.
So Kennelly gets it as far as he can. Warnock. Moore took a magnificent mark in the rain in the first term. Smith, a lot of the ball in the first half. Kicks to centre half forward. Jamieson. Strong tackle came from Pike. Ball in dispute. Dygan well played. Gibbs had to get it forward. Jack busy early in this half. And then Gibbs and Goods. Like saying them together, those two. Back it comes to Kennedy. Carazzo nearly stole it off him. Well done. Ball still to come out. Jack, maybe a bit stiff not to get a free there. Judd and Goods together. They sound all right in the same sentence as well. And it'll be a ball up.
Now. Well done, guys.
So here's the Pike tackle, a tough one. Tom's climbed the 6 stairs of the SCG and rejoined us after talking to Alan Richardson. Carlton with the only score in this quarter so far. That one cut off by Carazzo to Hanbury. to Kennedy, to Ellard, who had a great chance just before half-time. Simpson doesn't get it very far.
Shaw's got it now. Ditto, straight to Judd. High ball, still inside the centre square. That's a terrific grab in the conditions by Reid, who paid a price afterwards.
Straight to him. Thanks, Andrew.
Blast the whistle a fraction slow there. The umpire making sure they take the grab, and as a result, Reid collided with by White. Decides to run. Oops. He made it very difficult for Kennelly. Now White slips a hand pass away to the run of Walker. A contradiction in terms. He lines up and kicks a goal. And that could kickstart them.
Now, Bruce, you mentioned I was down at ground level at half-time. It's got amazing drainage, the SCG, that both clubs have come out in new jumpers. The ball will be reasonably easy to handle, so I expect a higher level of skill level in the second half.
Previous 12 scoring shots were behinds.
Ed, you've got hold of Kennedy on the jumper the whole way. Holding the man.
So the Blues get it back to 7 points. Kennedy's kick to Goods. Flew early. Gibbs with him. It's going to be a pivotal duel. Jack. Goods clever toe poke. And runs out of room with Laidler.
You just seen how quick Adam Goods is. A big, almost key position side, but the acceleration a few times to get to that loose ball has stood him apart from other players of his size tonight.
Stats aren't high tonight, but he's had a big presence in
Yeah, it
this
has.
match, hasn't it? Well done by Joseph to Laidler. Good mark, Kennelly.
Tiffer out to score. He'll kick from about 70 metres. He's been a nice return tonight.
Good on, Troy. Play on.
Told to play on. Just sets it up towards the pock. Going to Goods. Used his body to get rid of the man in front of him. Off hands, though, and across the line. That was a strong chest. Here's Tim.
O'Keefe's on Judd now. He's starting to look ominous again, Chris Judd. He ripped him apart last year in that final in the third quarter. He's the bloke they need to stop Sydney Swans in this quarter.
Close attention to Judd then. Down in front of the pack by Warnock. Taken by Scotland. Running out of space. Carranzo across a timely hand on the footy and knocks it across the boundary line. So back to 7 points now. We talked about a late goal to either side before half-time. Well, an early goal has done the trick here for Carlton. Suddenly, they're very competitive and attacking. In front, knocked down by Pike, knocked forward by McGlynn. Back in the opposite direction, taken by McVeigh. Gave it across to Bird. Bird, the high ball close to the boundary line. I think it pitched in. Comes to Kennelly. Kennelly around the corner. How clever was that? And the mark is taken by McGlynn.
Mentioned Dennis's forms. Kennelly has been pretty good tonight, I guess, with experience. Just knows his way around the ground, knows how to prepare for a game. But this is just exquisite here. A younger, less experienced player would have blazed away probably with the check side, but spotted up Kennelly out the corner of his eye and played the percentages.
Leading goal scorer for the Swans this season. 2 tonight, 10 for the season. And when you watch him play, you just wonder how the heck he got away from Hawthorn. He is a terrific player. Suited by these conditions. He's got 3 goals now, and that was one they needed.
So 4 kicks, 3 goals, McGlynn. He's had a very big match here. Horses for courses, and he's played them well. So it's 44-31. Swans get back to a handy break. Judd getting involved, and then Murphy's little toe poke. So the Blues need the next one here. It is a night where it is scoreboard pressure so much, isn't it? McVeigh's quick kick out. Carrazzo, good mark. Lee talked about maybe Carrazzo going forward at some stage. He's a clever player. That's a good kick by Gibbs. Can Garland impose himself in the second half? Well, that's a dry weather kick, isn't it? Alan Richardson told Tom we would need to go a bit longer than that. And now the short one to Betts, cut off momentarily by Shaw. Russell searching for it, can't quite. Bird, Kennelly, arches his back, the Irishman, and goes straight for the boundary line and finds it.
Well, the appeal coming from Scotland, all to no avail. Shaw with courage coming across in front of the leading players. Boundary throw in. And Carlton just looking a little better now that the rain has stopped. Getting wider. Just using the ball to good effect. Joseph in trouble. O'Keefe missed it. Over the football, Murphy initially. Spills out to Scotland. Carrazzo The high ball down towards full forward. Can Waite get to the contest? No. Reaching over the top, Reid. Here's Judd, here's trouble. Lines up and misses.
And we've mentioned a couple of times early in this quarter and previously in the first half, the Judd and O'Keefe matchup. I'd like to see Ryan O'Keefe do this at the other end of the ground. He's the natural forward and has that ability to push and work off offensively off Chris Judd. That should be his plan of attack.
Kicking for goal must be driving Judd mad at the moment. He's such a perfectionist. But not happening for him. Munford, good mark from McGlynn. And now O'Keefe, the man who's got the roll on Judd, kicks to a space at half forward. White, back in, Hanbury, back to White, but well done Laidler. Now, the Blues, this will be interesting. Jetta just came off the interchange, but Walker made it. Goes short to Waite. And that's a mark. I thought he'd held that. And then Richards was able to punch it out, but Waite not protesting. So the Blues, they do look more dangerous, don't they? You feel like they're right in this match. Halpin goes to ground. Kennedy gets a little kick away. Laidler to Murphy.
Murphy from the wing then across the body. Matner flirts with the idea of going. Just settles then midway between the flank and centre half back. Now we'll go for distance. High ball working in front. Goods lurking behind is McGlynn. It doesn't get to him though. Well played by Gibbs. He knocks it across the boundary line. So a throw in. And the ruckman very deep to come at this one. Ball reaches them though. Pike hooks it down. Kennedy put the body in. Robinson over it. Kennedy so much of the football into the path of Garlett. Ricochets off his shin and goes out of bounds.
Two areas of the ground that Carlton be really impressed with at the moment, and the clearances, they're up 31-23, and that's an area Sydney dominate. But more importantly, tackles. Sydney average on 22 more tackles per game. Carlton currently leading that stat 62-56.
Judd with the most clearances tonight. Kennedy.
On the periphery of this stoppage, we've got Jeff Garlett. Now, he's been Carlton's main goal kicker this year. He's kicked 12 goals. He's on Bruce Shaw, but he's more playing as an extra midfielder. I just think he'd be, because he's such a dangerous goal kicker, he's got good speed, he has to be trying to get involved in the forward 50 a little more than upfield.
Pike's kick, dangerous spot. White had a little bit of it. Goods lurking. Jamieson played it well. To Scotland, the Blues with a chance here.
Scotland forward of half back. Probing kick, not a bad one either, intended for Russell. Off his fingertips, Kennelly lurking behind. Garlett comes at him. Close to the boundary line, it runs away from Bevan. 12 points the margin, 14 at half-time, 13 at quarter-time. So Carlton involved in a real struggle here. Judd, as always, good in close. Pike backhands it down. Shaw to Bolton, under pressure, gets the kick away. Goods traps it, knocks it across to McVeigh, to Kennedy. Upended by the man coming across his bow there. Driven forward by Gibbs. Carazzo did well to get it on the deck, combined well with Gibbs. This is Kennelly across the ground. It favours a Carlton player. Coming back is Walker. He's at right half forward, Walker. Goes down towards the pocket, looking for Simpson. Well, that's a pretty good result. Simpson fighting out of his division there. Kennelly annoyed. He didn't do better, realising they had the numbers, but Carlton get the stoppage.
Where's Judd? He's lurking. O'Keefe with him. O'Halpin taken by Robinson, and he's blazed and missed a lot. I think I was in a behind. No, missed everything. So they've had their chances in this quarter. Judd, that would have been a good goal for Robinson, but Joseph kicked a similar one in the first term. Just one goal. What a difference, eh? A 6-point or an 18-point game here. Kennelly's last kick was a bit ambitious. He may play the percentages here. He does. Bolton a target. Warnock, good mark, Bolton. Warnock kept out of it really by Pike. And Bolton goes down the line to a one-on-one with the Blues off the mark. Quickly Jamieson, and then plays on.
Read it brilliantly, Jamieson. Hit it virtually at full speed. Kicks it down towards the boundary, and the leading target, Walker. All skids out of bounds, and they get another stoppage in about the same spot as the last one.
And as usual, Kennedy getting in, getting all those in tight possessions.
number one hardball get player in the competition, Josh Kennedy.
Garland went to ground. Walker with support. Simpson finding space now across the body. O'Halpin. Timely fist there from Pike. Hand pass comes across, though, taken by Duigan. Duigan got it from Russell, but the kick is offline and through for a minor score.
We just saw Jamieson actually just come off wide, take that chest mark play on. He's really settling in really well, mainly playing full-back, but actually they've had a little bit of Achilles heel in their big defenders, Carl, but I think Jamieson is going to fill one of those positions extremely well in future years.
So Kennelly going to go short. Danger if Walker. No, couldn't. Richards started really well. Richards, he's had a battle with weight for a lot of the night. So Richards gets it outside the 50. White for Carlton. Big fly. Terrific take there from McGlynn. He's been very good all night. Laidler, or rather Joseph, I should say. McVeigh, toe poke, danger. Well done, Jetta. McVeigh skidding it home. Yes. Oh, that stings.
Just see the contest here by McVeigh. He actually picks the ball up outside 50 and then gets inside 50 and chooses to dribble the ball on the ground. We saw earlier in the first quarter it was Jesse White who went to kick the ball through at post high, but just highlights in these conditions that dribbling the ball can be just as effective because the ball bounces straight.
Indeed, it was a clever kick. The ball comes inside the forward 50. Waite was in front, stumbling, falling to the ground. I think it was White. No free kick over the top. Matt now holding the ball is the call.
No genuine attempt to knock it out. Scored it.
So Smith has the kick paid against him. No genuine attempt.
Clear out.
Betts gets the
Thanks,
free.
Ben. Ben.
And he should kick this one. So the margin has skipped out to 17 points. Goal here, and it's manageable again. Goal drought in the second term. The goals coming freely again in this quarter. Betts comes in and puts a throw. His second.
Just see Dennis Armfield there. The substitute's been activated for Aaron Joseph. We heard from Alan Richardson at half-time that they were going to wait until late into the third quarter to activate that stuff. Provides great aerobic capacity and will need to provide some run over the ground as the ground gets heavier.
Very much like for like, similar types of players.
Just the fresh
small defender type players.
So Curnow gets it from Simpson. And here he is, straight on cue. Little give to Murphy. Murphy hooks back to centre half forward. Waite. Almost. Gee, had a lot of it. Bolton. Carlton are pressing hard here. Simpson gets it to about 15 metres. O'Halpin, good stuff. Reid, he's been good. Smith hacks it forward. Is that a mark? No. Jack, bit unlucky. Carato picked it up like a dry ball. Good stuff by Jack. Goods used his body, big backside really well there. And off the ground from Jack and a boundary throw. Feel like the game's going up a notch, don't you?
You do. Everett. The loneliness of a long-distance cyclist. Curnow swings and misses. Murphy kicks towards the 50. O'Halpin went to ground unnecessarily. Socket forward, though, down towards the pocket by Garland. Here's Betts. He's going to kick his third. Runs in, gets it. Oh, how about this? Carlton, dry weather track, suiting them down to the ground. They're down by 5 points.
You mentioned to me, I think it was off early at half-time, that Betts might be the bloke. You felt he was lively.
Well, he's been lively. Garland's been a bit too far upfield, I reckon, but Betts has been the forward that looks the most likely kick his three.
So the Blues within a goal for the first time in this match since the 22-minute mark of the opening term. They've closed in here. Bird, that was poor.
Just undisciplined. Had the contest won.
Jared Waite did something similar in the first quarter when he pushed the player out when the mark was not going to be taken. That just releases the pressure. He's a talent, but he's not disciplined at times. So Bird to Goods. Gibbs has been terrific on Goods in this quarter. He's been able to match him in the one-on-ones. Jack, here's Armfield, the sub. Gets another crack. Couldn't quite. I wonder if Judd's got a burst in him here. Well, there you go. Couldn't quite. There we go again. And he's held up, Judd. He probably should have got a free. I'm not barracking for him, but he probably should have there. The kick around the corner from O'Keefe. Tap back by Laidler. McVeigh's been good. Kennedy's been terrific. He just gets it out. Bolton. Free kick to Bolton.
Just a matter of who can actually not fall on the player first. But I reckon the Swans will actually activate the sub before too long. Either Pike or White. I reckon they'll just go that one player small. One of their very talls might be the one subbed.
Bruce mentioned that Gibbs is playing well. Just one kick to Adam Goodes in this term. Here's White, wide of the pack, under pressure, scrambles a kick away. Bolton stifles the bounce, taken by Laidler. Hand passes to Murphy. That's a true bounce. An indication perhaps this ground is getting firmer. Goes to Garlett. Garlett goes long down towards full forward defenders. Oh, they hate that in bits. Loves that situation. Either on the ground or in the air. Had the mark been spilt, he was still most likely to get it, but that's terrific.
He actually plays very well as a small full forward. Basically, he's very good on the one-on-one contest of a player of similar size and shape, and he is certainly the Carlton forward who has got them back.
Singing the praises of Nick Smith early in the game. He started well when it was pouring with rain, but suddenly Betts is causing him fits, and he comes and kicks another one. Eduardo the Magnificent has got 4.
It's an interchange problem here, I think. So
Interchange, just to make it clear.
Yeah, I'll communicate it, mate. Thanks, Paul. Andrew.
It's against the Swans.
Carlton free kick for an interchange infringement. Satana's free kick and 50 metres.
There's been an interchange infringement.
An interchange infringement.
Well, Carlton's only, the last time they were in front, they were a point in front when Waite put them in front. They were less than a minute in front. Now there's the...
It's Henry Playfair, former Geelong player who's development coach for the Swans. And no other ground is this more a penalty than the SCG, obviously being a shorter ground.
For the first time tonight, Carlton will get more than a kick in front, you reckon, if O'Halpin can do it. And just a moment ago, that's the first...
What's going on?
No, go back.
Judith! Jude!
I think that the Swans might be arguing as they didn't have an extra player.
He's got it, so Carlton lead by 7 points. We'll go back to... But pace really worried the Swans a minute ago with Murphy on the wing.
They have. But this interchange free kick is just added to it from the Swans' point of view. I think Adam Goodes... We might get a good look at it in a minute. Adam Goodes was leaving the field. Hanbury had left.
It was the Hanbury step outside of the yellow line before. Not Adam Goodes' fault at all.
But Adam Goodes has come back on. You wonder how many players have they actually got on interchange at this point in time.
It was the step over the line. So once you were...
Yeah, it didn't matter whether you were an extra player
Exactly
or not.
right.
The argument continues down there. Impossible for us to tell. Knocked down by Mumford, wide. The test now firmly with his Swans. Bolton kicks inside the forward 50. Goodes flicks it behind, taken by White. In reverse was Scotland. Hand passes to Gibbs. Gibbs deftly places the ball on the boot. Floats short of the wing. Knocked away by Smith. Body to body with Carazzo. And the ball goes out of bounds. Things have swung dramatically in this term. Grabbed the lead by a point and then, without the ball coming back into play, extended that lead to 7. There's Mumford. Battles with O'Halpin. O'Halpin wins it down. Ellard hurriedly onto the boot towards half forward. Knocked away by Richards. Getting back is Matner. Matner bundled out of it by an aggressive White. That's out of bounds. Tim?
I think it might have been an interchange Stewart error because they actually had Jesse White was lying on the ground at the time, so they actually still had the right number of players off the ground. You see a little bit of confusion there. But when Goodes came off the ground, they actually had one extra player off the ground. They only had 17 out there for the Sydney Swans.
So Judd bursting through and then centering the ball. Russell couldn't quite. Shaw. So Tim, are you saying it's a right royal as the kick goes out towards centre wing? Pike. Good pick up by the big guy, but gee, Jamison Lee, he has been good.
Yeah, he's good. No, I like the look of him. He's a very competent defender.
Huge raps on Jamison as a defender, and we're really starting to see that come to fruition. His body positioning's been fantastic. Instigating and initiating the play as a defender is a great attribute to have.
Kick to Waite. Now Richards did well there. Waite.
It's almost a dry weather night all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They've just drained that well. They're now handling the ball very cleanly.
So Richards out of defence then, back towards the wing. Dygan comes with a run and hammers it out of bounds. Carlton by 7.
Did you see Everett coming on there? Adam Goods was the player off. I don't think he'd be subbed. But Andreas Everett, substitution activation.
It sounds game-turning, even if it's not, doesn't it? Substitution activation. Pike didn't move it. Murphy trying to get out of there. Bolton nabs him. Bird hacked out of there by McVeigh. Moved it about 10 metres. Scotland tried to direct it back to Laidler. Sydney with the numbers around the football. Strong tackle by Dygan. He got Bolton down just as well too. And now he's going to be holding the football against Carlton. Jack to take the free. Jack, who hobbled off the ground earlier, drives it inside the forward 50. And the mark is taken down there by Mumford. Set his big frame, put the mitts up, and it stuck.
We don't often see Shane Mumford as a forward. He's been predominantly the ruckman, almost full-time ruckman for the Swans. But in his time at Geelong, yes, he knew his way around the forward line really well. Leads up at the ball, obviously takes a strong mark and a very accurate kick, so I'll back him in from here.
Yes. Thank you.
Jack was the man who drove it in. Looked gone earlier on, Jack. I guess he steeled himself with the motivation being that Justin Bieber is performing after an injury tonight. Sort of stuff that gets you going. Gets the blood pumping, so does that. Mumford puts it in. Goal.
And we see Andres Everett there has been subbed on. He's fairly tall, but much more agile, much more mobile. One big off, a more agile player on is the Swans' decision.
So White off and Mumford going forward, getting the goal, and Everett on. So Kennelly, we're back to a one-point game. Bolton decides to go the long way. Jamison did well, worked his way in front of Kennedy. There is Everett, couldn't quite get boot to ball. Laidler kicks back to centre wing. A contest. This is where Carlton are looking dangerous. Dennis was onto this early in this third quarter, the fact that they could start to spread in dry conditions and get the ball a bit wider. And that's where they're just exposing Sydney a little. Matner back to McVeigh. McVeigh down the line. Russell, Jetta, Judd. Back, well played by Judd. Gets it to Garlett. And was that touch? I'm not sure. That's a boundary throw in. Well, another big little moment in this match, isn't it? Mumford sitting out for the moment.
Carlton winning the contested possessions this quarter. They've tackled a little bit better, but they're getting the ball to some of their key runners in a little bit of space. That's why their scoreboard has started to go.
And yet another remarkable contest. What a season it's been after the boundary throw-in. Ball knocked into the path of Judd. Could do nothing with it. Over the football, trying to get it out, Murphy. Trying to back out is Scotland. He's immediately claimed. Eventually it comes off a Carlton boot wide of the pack. McVeigh put the body in. Well done, Carazzo. Picked up by Murphy. Over the top, O'Halpin. He's in two minds, O'Halpin. Throws it on the boot. Still could be okay. Goes to the goal square. Betts leads in the race from one direction. They stayed off him. Flicks a hand pass back over the head of Murphy. Pike not the man to have it. Tackled by Betts, who took him down brilliantly. Gathered by Jack in the congestion. Now it's Hanbury under pressure. Kicks it out, 2-on-1, favours Carlton. In front, Jamison. Gathers the ball. Oh, well done, getting a hand in there. Just stifling the hand pass was Kennedy. That was terrific.
Yeah, good stuff. I reckon Betts a moment ago, he handballed like a bloke that didn't really want to handball. he almost could get around on that left foot. No, he was doing the team thing, but...
Got him in the head. Got him in the head.
Gee, Carlton had a chance, didn't they? They had a real chance to put a little space between themselves and the Swans at three-quarter time. Sydney, McGlynn, who was the most damaging player on the ground until 15 minutes ago, until Eddie got really going. Betts has kicked 3 goals in this quarter. McGlynn's kicked 3 for the match. Moore, clever. Now, can this get over the back? Jack, oh, good stuff by Russell. Carlton's defence has been good.
Ball handling certainly sure. The game's been played up and down, almost like the train tracks from stoppage to stoppage, but if Carlton can get the ball out in space, certainly with a dry ball, they look very dangerous.
Not a great kick by Russell. Scotland, can he break the tackle? Given a bit of leeway. Matner got down low with Ellard. Betts goes to the interchange for the last minute.
What a quarter from Eddie Betts, eh? 4 goals for the game now. 3 in this term. Over the top, Warnock decisively. Walker ambitiously tries to go through. Not going anywhere. So we're down to 39 seconds. Clock is stopped. Carlton by a point. Great comeback by the Blues. Warnock thumps it out wide. Great shepherd by Simpson. Judd didn't have the football, still hasn't got the football, and will get the free.
Now.
The acceleration away from the contest, that's what Chris Judd does better than almost anybody, just that ability to just find the yard forward.
Cade Simpson was great too, putting the body in there. Reid with a big fist, hitting the pack hard is Walker. Nice gather by Walker. Slips it over the top, intended for Ellard. It's knocked away by McVeigh. Clock stops at 10 seconds.
Sammy.
So the Blues,
Sammy.
the only team you feel could score from here. Going to be hard though. A clean takeaway, an accurate kick. O'Halpin, Warnock, so the duel. Judd can't quite get away, and then handball picked off firstly by Jack. Has to get it out. They're safe. But a big turnaround in that quarter. Carlton came steaming back in dry conditions. Judd looked dangerous, didn't quite complete the job, but Betts really did, didn't he? So 3/4 time, Friday night at the SCG. It's the Swans 56 and the Blues 57.
A real slog till half-time, then it opened up in that third term. The margin, a point Carlton's way. It's 8-9 to 8-8, and they were paced by Eddie Betts in that term with 4 goals. Well, I think we've got an argument activation down at the interchange right now. Tim's right across this story on the mega wall. Tim?
Yeah, a lot of drama down here at 3/4 time. As soon as the siren sounded, Swans officials went across to the interchange steward. Now, they've asked for what the grounds are for an investigation. They want the goal to be deducted because there was no impact on the play. As we know, there was a goal kick, the ball went back to the centre of the ground, and then the free kick was awarded. So there were some angry Sydney Swans officials at 3/4 time. Let's hope that it doesn't result, or it isn't the difference between the two sides at the end of this game, because I'm sure we haven't heard the last of this.
And that seems to be an AFL official on the phone. Back to HQ. Mission Control. Oh, well, you feel sorry for whoever made the mistake, whether it's the AFL official or the interchange official. Nothing would be worse, would it?
Well, Bruce mentioned, I think it was Jeremy Laidler in the first quarter, saved a point, and we said, well, if the game's going to be decided by a point, that's going to be the most important part of the game. But there's still plenty of a story to be told with that there, you get the feeling.
So we're thinking that maybe the Swans had 4 players on the interchange at that period of time or something.
Yeah, so...
And when the 4th player was going to be the 18th went on, that was when the interchange steward thought he was an extra. Well, that's the theory anyway.
I'm guessing we'll read about it.
When the Swans player stepped over the yellow line, you saw the interchange steward to the left just get out of his seat straight away. That was enough for him. But we'll see how it unfolds.
Point the difference. Start of the final term on Friday Night Football. Knocked down to Judd. Hand passes it towards half forward. Shaw gathers the footy, goes with the outside of the boot. Shaw is now on Betts, taken downfield by Kennedy. Yet another possession inside the forward 50. Runs free at the back. Mumford stood up in the tackle. Awkward bouncing ball, paddling it towards the boundary line. Russell content to take it across in front of Jetta. Jetta, such a live wire. You're flirting with death if you keep it in around a player like that.
So the Swans, both their wins this year, they've been behind at 3/4 time. The Bombers in round 2 and West Coast in round 3. So they've done it the hard way, and they're going to have to do it again tonight. Looked in control just before half-time, and McGlynn was a big part of that.
Oh, Carlton free kick. Heads over the footy.
So Curnow again having big numbers tonight. He's been in the 20s all the way through his 5 matches so far. One-on-one, Matner. Walker was busy in the third. Kicked that goal that really got them going, and then Betts was the cream on the cake.
Holding the man. Oh, yeah.
McVeigh
Move it on.
has played well.
Play on.
The co-captain kicked a couple. Dyke in front spot. Oh, good grab.
Haven't the conditions changed in an hour?
Oh, yeah.
Here's Scotland. He's been very handy again tonight. Smothered off the boot by Jack, though, getting across.
Well, we saw Heath Scotland there. He wanted to bring the ball out to the open side of the ground. It was one-on-one, so it probably wasn't the right decision. But I think with the conditions drying up as they are, the game will open up, particularly on the fat side of the ground, and Carlton will look to exploit the spread of the Swans.
Warnock knocked it down into the path of Judd. He was dragged down. Kennedy misses to the near side. Through it goes for a behind. So scores are level at the beginning of the 4th term here at the SCG, and the rain is starting to fall again, and John Longmire won't be unhappy with that. I know we've got chaos down on the interchange bench, but it's unlikely Jesse White will come back, which I'm disappointed about, because Josh spent the entire week, our statistician, coming up with an absolute beauty, and I blew it early in the game. Jesse White shares a birthday with Kate Middleton, who is in white tonight. It was going to be a fairy tale sort of story, but alas, Jesse got dragged. Sorry, Bruce, it was just raw emotion. I got caught up for a moment.
Somehow I thought you were going to weave in Betts into that as well there, Dennis.
No, I'm off it. No.
Very emotional night all round.
That's right.
He's the danger man, isn't he, Eddie? Gibbs, good-looking kick. And not quite getting there, and forced through from behind. So we had a 5-goal-to-3 first quarter, the Swans. We had none-to-none second quarter. We had a 5-goal-to-3 third quarter. Carlton, that's how tight this match has been tonight. It's been like walking a tightrope at times. Kennelly, I think we've all been impressed with his game tonight. What a wonderful athlete he is. Dygan, and that's deliberate. And he's pinned.
Yes, win it all on, mate. Hold.
So more at centre wing.
Just need to be a little more subtle with the paddle towards the boundary.
Moore took a specky earlier tonight. Drives it down towards the half-forward line. The only man who really backed himself against the football was Laidler. Sliding in.
Interesting, we saw Kieran Jack there just look at Andreas Everett, expecting him to come through. Displeased with the effort.
Kicks to the wing. White again. It's been an almost man tonight. Moore gets it from Reid. Back towards half-forward goes his kick. Coming up the bit at Mumford. Bounces to Armfield. Gives it across towards Jamison. Now it comes through the pack to McGlynn. And there's a whistle on the man who threaded the hand pass through the pack. And it's coming back and will be taken by Mumford. Mumford goes to the pocket, just lobbing it over the players. He spotted the mustachioed one, Jetta. And he goes back now about 35 metres out. The man who could not buy a goal early last season, with a chance, if he kicks one here, to put his side back in front on Friday Night Football in what's such an important game for both sides.
Got the free bit of great bit of play by Mumford. Another conveyor belt of ruckmen from other clubs that come to the Swans in those mid-20s and thrive.
So Jetta. It's close and it's the post.
Looked all right at the boot, didn't it? So he's 0-2 from set shots this year, but he did have the big run, as Dennis said. He's kicked 1 goal 4 this season.
I know you're aware of the scoreboard, Bruce.
It's scary, isn't it? It really is. 3 draws so far this year. I feel like goals are going to be difficult in this last quarter. Goods belts it in. Armfield had to get rid of it in a hurry. Gibbs was tricked inadvertently, I think. Great tackle. Jetta gets a second crack boundary throw in.
Gee, that was a great tackle there by Shane Mumford. He's got that great ability as a big man to get down low. See the inside 50s all square, but got down low without giving away the free kick and pinned the arm. Just textbook technique.
So Warnock and Mumford Every point handy, you'd think. Mumford goes back. Judd trapped it magnificently. Runs his full measure and kicks the ball to a dangerous spot. If this could get over the back. Bevan. Still Bevan. He's got a very clean Guernsey on. I don't reckon that's a good sign if you've got a clean Guernsey on right now. Robinson down low to Curnow. Curnow in the sticky bit. Gets the ball to half forward. Richards did well. Belted it away and finds the line.
When you're looking for leadership amongst players, a former leader of the club or a future leader of the club would grab a handful of mud and put it on anyway, wouldn't he? Boundary throw in on the outer side. Bevan just playing the game on its merits. In front, Warnock knocks it down. Armfield goes with the inside of the boot. Look at that. Rotates around the boundary. Still Carlton work it forward. Trapped over the football. As McGlynn just backs across the line, we'll have a boundary throw in. 58 apiece. So we're back to a slugfest here after a dry third term, and how quickly it got dry. In front, half chance there for Bird. Hacked out again by Carlton. It was Murphy, and the ball runs out of bounds. Both coaches well aware of what a win tonight will mean. Judd over the football, trying to lift his team, trying to earn a free kick. Look at him go. Still inside the boundary, Chris Judd. Virtuoso performance. Oh, wonderful by Chris Judd.
He has the strength over the ball. He just got that fantastic balance, that strength through the hips. And then just was able just to... nothing quite opened up. Saw his teammate in front of goal. That's fantastic.
It's all about will with Judd, isn't it? So often, just watching him come off, he's certainly distressed, but White kicks and was always offline. Judd was labouring just to get off the ground then. He has run himself into the deck here, trying to get his team up.
He's up to 25 disposals, 19 contested possessions. His third quarter, he had about 11 possessions in the third quarter. He just willed his team into this.
Since half-time, Lee's had 13 possessions and all of them have been contested.
Fantastic.
So Armfield underneath. He's done all right, Armfield. Remember, we talked about the possibility of a draw. Both these teams have already had a draw this year. The Swans in round one and Essendon against... It was rather the Blues against Essendon. Matner. But the kick by Garland is a beauty, and they've got some breathing space now.
Fantastic take. He's actually kicked 12 goals prior to tonight, Garland. He's been Carlton's predominant scorer. He's been mainly up around the middle of the ground, but when he gets the ball in that forward 50, his speed and ball handling, very dangerous.
O'Halpin moved it about 10 metres. Sending it back, though. The ball comes from Moore, and the mark is taken by Scotland. It might have been Bird who kicked it to Scotland. He's pretty muddied up. Comes in his direction again. Gets 2 fists on it. Knocks it in front. Matner was leaving before he had the football. Down went Bolton. Well played by Robinson. Just knocked it across to Curnow, who kicks it only as far as Richards. And Richards has been pretty good again tonight. He's having a good season. Right half back. Kicks just beyond the wing. Scotland sets himself. It runs free at the back. As Bolton got the pace, Curnow is getting closer. Bolton gains about 15 metres.
So now the Swans have got to find something, don't they?
Well, the two areas where the Swans have been outstanding all year has been their tackle count, which they've been beaten at the moment, 88 to 76, and clearances, where Carlton also excel. But the balls around the stoppage is where the game's going to be won.
McGlynn, McVeigh, they've kicked 5 between them, and that one going out on the full. They came home very late against West Coast, and they came home very late against Essendon City. You know they'll keep coming. The Blues can get the next one.
We know Chris Judd has actually lifted Carlton into a winning position many times, as he did with the Eagles earlier in his career. You wonder who are the Swans, who's the player in the Swans that can will himself in this precious situation.
Do you think the interchange steward wants the siren to go right now? Here is Judd. Of course, he had the wedding of the year last year, Juddy, didn't he? On this night, having a big match. As you'd expect, Ellard's little toe poke, Carazzo. Carlton looked dangerous here. Carazzo, that's a good kick. He kept it in. Oh, no, it didn't go out. Would have been a really good kick if it had rolled out and they got a stoppage. Bevan, that's slack. And Walker, this is a chance. White. Still with White. And they look home.
So the Swans, who led by as much as 17 points, have seen 6 of the last 7 goals kicked by Carlton.
I wonder how he can get that far clear in your forward 50.
So Tataro Halpin goes after the footy. Judd again. Very brief pit stop for Judd. He's over the football. Guess what? He got it. Went down. Hand pass forward by Bird. Sliding in was Laidler. Liked his game too. These conditions seem to suit him as he battles after the football, then flicks it back just to get it out. McGlynn, head down, stolen away by Gibbs, got boot to ball. O'Halpin taking no prisoners, socketed forward. Good slides in on Robinson, moved it forward, but weight was there for Carlton. Comes back. Garlett floats one to half forward. Richards had to wait. Simpson was facing in the right direction, still is. Picks up the football, running out of space. And across the boundary line it goes.
Did I blow my whistle first?
I'm not sure.
I reckon it's holding the ball.
I think he was well over the line when
My
he blew
whistle
his
went
whistle.
first before his.
So the whistleblower, eh?
Who blew
Moving
their
on!
whistle first, the
Play
boundary
on!
umpire or the field umpire?
Swans force it forward. So they've got to find, well, at least 2 goals and possibly a third here.
You get the feeling when you look at a player who can provide grunt but also a bit of outside flash. It's Kieran Jack, but we saw his ankle injury early in the game. That's why he's not running with Chris Judd. That's really hurt the Swans, I feel.
It's been 10 years since Carlton's been top 3 at this stage of the season. That's where they'll be tonight. And Sydney have got 4 matches. Let's have a look at this last goal and Ratton's reaction. He knows how important it is.
Josh Kennedy, don't hold. Thanks, Teddy. Thanks, Teddy.
Maybe. Sydney have got 4 of their 5 matches at home. This is the second one. They lost to Geelong. They're behind here. Would be consecutive defeats at the SCG would be a body blow. Judd's been magnificent.
Into the path of Ellard. Worked off the line of the footy by Matner, who kept going. Well played by Matner. Bird. Now, may have come off a boot, but no one's going to prove it, so a boundary throw in. Curno's been terrific. I think I might have robbed him of a possession a minute or so ago, down in front of our commentary position. And again there, just applying pressure. He's up to 21 possessions. And you know, from what we've seen already of this young man, they're hard-working ones. Judd.
Said earlier in the game how good the Swans had been tackling all year, and their clearance work, they were top of the chain in the clearances, but tonight Carlton's got them 48 to 32, and Chris Judd's got 11 of those.
Mumford, the hurried kick towards half forward. Going back, Jamison. Trapped by Gibbs, who's been a very fine player. That time, though, dispossessed by Moore. Needs a goal. Had to be a goal. There's still time, but goals are hard to come by, especially for Sydney. 5 of their goals came in the first term.
It's been a big night for Bryce Gibbs. He's been given the challenge of playing a defensive role on Adam Goods and really stood up, I feel. Taken a big step tonight.
Oh, the second half's been fantastic, Tom, hasn't it? So, long bomb to Warnock. Good mark, Mumford. He's probably the most dangerous player at the moment. If we could get him to centre half forward, I reckon. I mean, he took a mark and kicked a goal in that third quarter. Long kick in. Goods hasn't been able to impose himself at all since half-time. Credit to Gibbs. And a boundary throw-in.
Adam Goods tends to be a guy who leaps at his marks, and just with a little bit of slipness on the ball. Very hard to actually hold the ball in your hands when you're leaping. But Mumford has got the height to really just stand there and mark above. He said maybe deep forward is his go.
Tried to lay it down. Bolton will get down low. Judd careful not to give a free away. Kennedy, Goods, cut off Curnow. It's his 6th match, Curnow, and every occasion he's had at least 20 disposals. It's a mighty fine record, isn't it?
Great pick-up for Carlton.
With the Crows for that year. Played at Glenelg, couldn't get into the league team at Glenelg. Played reserves, cut from the list, went to Box Hill. broken leg, and here we are.
Gee.
It's a good story. Judd continuing to get clearances in important possessions.
Reid charges at the football, lays it back to Richards. Here's a chance in the midfield. Sliding in, the mark is taken by Everett. White in the centre circles. The pitch very gluggy. Goes out wide. Bird gathers the bouncing ball. Tries to get it across the top to Hanbury. Stolen away too easily by Ellard. The high ball towards Waite. Has to wait. Arriving quickly was Richards, but he interfered with Waite. Waite gets the free. He's had a tough night tonight, Waite. It was kept at him. Bit careless there by Richards. Waite from behind. Walker must be a free kick, I would have thought, to Reid. Trying to push off with his feet, Walker.
You didn't touch the ball.
I'm not so sure about this one. I think he's made a legitimate attempt to mark the ball. Eyes on the footy. No hands. Yeah, not sure.
You've got to at least get your hands to the footy, don't you, for the umpire to say it was a legitimate attempt.
So Reid still in the back half. High ball. Gets to centre wing. Warnock front spot. Couldn't quite hold it. Brought the ball to ground. Moore. Tackled hard.
It's been a really impressive side for Carlton. Sydney came into this game dominating the tackles, averaged 22 more than their direct opponents. You see it there on the screen, 98 to 84. That would please Brett Ratten no end.
So no other team but Sydney's had over 100, is that right, tackles?
And they've done that twice.
So Carlton are going that way. Beautiful kick, and Garlick, who Tom talked about, his clean hands tonight, and he could ice this match. So Betts kicked 3 in the third quarter, 4 for the match. Garlick, the leading goal kicker at the club this season. 12 goals coming in, 13 now. And you feel if he kicks this, they're on their way to what would be a famous victory. They haven't won here for 18 years. Garlick's kick is a good one. It's all the way. The Indigenous boys have done a mighty job since half-time.
'77 plays 59 then. 8 minutes out from full-time. So if they can stop Carlton, they still need 3 goals of their own. Judd again out of the middle. And Sydney have only kicked 3 goals since quarter time. Coming up, Carrazzo. Fell to the ground eventually. Working it through nicely was Walker. Then he left the footy behind. Goes back to find it. Garlett. Garlett into the path of Simpson. Manages to keep it in. 52 metres out. Pulls it back towards full forward. Timely fist from Richards. Bird in desperate trouble. Ricochets off the boot of McLean. In goes Judd again. Feeds it back to Ellard. Trying to get a boot to ball was Betts. Picked up by Walker. And there's the clincher. Walker gets his second. That is a knee buckler.
Again, the reaction from Brett Ratten and the Carlton hierarchy. Just trying to think if the Blues have had a better win under Ratten. I mean, they beat Collingwood a couple of years ago when they broke a drought, but this is on the road.
Circumstances early.
They're a long way down. What a captain they've got in Juddo.
That's his 14th clearance.
Walker's kicked a couple in the second half. Betts has kicked 3 in the second half. Garlett's kicked 2 in the second half. They're almost home here, Carlton. Richards, little kick forward. And Curnow. Gee, you'd want to bottle this boy, wouldn't you? Kicks to full forward. Warnock could be dangerous here. Had a fair bit of it. Mumford, Kennelly, Reid, they're on the back foot. Richards hacks it away. Still in a dangerous spot, though.
Jetta, did he have the football? Apparently. Knocked forward by Russell, who crawls after it. Stolen away by Jetta. Now Jetta on the burst, runs short of the wing. Kicks down towards right half forward and good. Awkward one to mark, and he did. That wasn't easy. Adam Goods, 70 metres out. Just over 6 minutes remaining. He sends it long down towards full forward. Off hands, Russell. Ball bouncing around like a pinball down there. Laidler, an inadvertent boot, and it flies out of bounds. Boundary throw in.
Just see Chris Judd on screen there, the 31 disposals. Down that bottom line there, contested possessions is 25. His career high going into this game was 23, just highlighting the absolute dominance he's had on the game. Just look at that there. That's 5 on 1. If there's ever been a captain that wills his side, it's Chris Judd.
Jack puts it across the body and McGlynn takes the mark. He's kicked 3 goals. The margin is 24 points. And you think he should kick this, but a lot of pressure on. Everything has to go right for Sydney to steal this game. Talking of Chris Judd, he's played more games against Sydney, 18, including 6 finals, than any other club, obviously, because of that wonderful tradition between the West Coast Eagles and Sydney. 4 goals now to McGlynn. Is there a spark?
So McGlynn with 4. They get it back to 3, Sydney. Centre clearance here could be vital. Judd again. It's been 40 years since a bloke won a 3rd Brownlow. We're going to get the 3 tonight. There's a lot of season to be played. Off the ground, White to fall forward. Clever by Betts, trying to get a 5th. Gibbs holds up. Can't quite get it all the way. And that would have been curtains had he. And it's a behind. A handy point, but...
And Goods has gone in to take the match up. Josh Kennedy's been there for the last 10 minutes or so, but he just keeps getting it.
White falling down. Simpson squeezes a pass back towards the middle. Well, doing everything. Judd gets it across towards Garlett. Garlett snap. Misses. Judd's such an elegant player. He's quite a contradiction when you watch him, because he is very much blue-collar, despite all the skills and everything we sing about in terms of praise. His work in and under, the fact that he's just a man who stays on his feet. He's hanging off the pack here. Gibbs goes the other way. Hurried kick from Laidler. Walker missed it. Now, was there pressure on there? I guess there was. Who's to say? Kennelly to himself. Behind. Sends it out towards half-back. Sliding. Pike takes the mark.
Bit of international footy there.
Yeah, and a Canadian to an Irishman again. That's 2 of the inclusions tonight. Russell getting back. Well played by the Blues. They have been so good. Scotland. And then Curnow to O'Halpin. Speaking of the international. Lee, on the road, since Judd's been at Carlton, there are 11 wins from 19.
Yeah.
Prior to that, they were 1.5 wins from their 28. Now, I know they've improved, but it's difficult to imagine a single recruit having a bigger impact on a club.
Well, remember the last time Carlton played in Sydney, that 3rd quarter that Judd played in that first final was one of the most memorable quarters I think we've seen. And he's done it again in this second half.
Well, he's won a Norm Smith against the Swans and won a premiership and another grand final against them. Garlett's high ball to centre-half forward. Back against the tide was Everett. And then Kennedy hooking back, and Hanbury in the heart of the centre square now.
Swings it out wide. Goods is running. So is Scotland. Scotland is gaining. Goods knew he was there. Comes back to Bolton. Bolton inside the forward 50. Mumford. You should be coaching, Bruce. They've swung him forward, and Mumford just standing there has taken the mark and realises time is of the essence, so he runs back on his mark.
It does beg the question. You see Adam Goods involved up the ground and Shane Mumford now playing forward. If that move perhaps had been pulled a bit earlier, put Goods in as the express player in the middle and Mumford as the target up forward.
Well, he's kicked a goal.
Last 2 games here, Mumford's kicked 2 goals in each of those games. Their career highs. Do you reckon the interchange steward's getting nervous?
If it gets within a goal, there's a bit of a story brewing, I think.
Might be.
Well, back to 15 points. It would be a miracle. Goods, Judd, who just cut it off, and then Ellard belts the ball forward. Matner, play on at all costs. Hanbury front spot. It was Hanbury a moment ago that got them going. Hanbury quickly on. McGlynn. McGlynn quickly on. They need a mark. McVeigh tried to get rid of Mumford almost. Goods, still Goods, threw it away.
Throw, Goodsy, throw. Mark Murphy.
So Murphy in the back half. Out wide, Walker couldn't quite. And a boundary throwing.
So they'll be going wide Carlton now for this last couple of minutes of the game. It's low-risk football just to protect the 14-point lead.
And there's been plenty of careers between now and 1993. A lot of blokes at Carlton would never have experienced what these players appear certain to experience tonight. Over the football weight. Is that high? McGlynn, I think, is the player at the base of that pack, but the umpire says held to him and will ball it up. So just over 2 minutes to go. And the margin, a healthy 15 points. They need more goals than they've got minutes, Lee. You don't like that.
Yeah, hard to win from there.
Especially on a night like tonight. Robinson kicks it short of the wing. Over the ball, Walker dives in there. Matner was paddling it along, picked up by Simpson. Goes towards half forward. Now it's a race back. Lurking behind them is Judd, not required. The hand pass came from Shaw, Hanbury, Smith.
Out wide to Everett. Gets the bounce. Can he find a target? He's on the left foot. Kicks as hard as he can. Laidlaw has been good. Dennis talked about his really good game in these conditions. Slow kick wide.
Carrazzo.
Daigan. Carazzo's on now. Gets to 50. Measures it to fall forward. Bets a little push and a behind. Well,
Laidlaw and Daigan have been two good recruits, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, both really solid across half-back.
And throw Curnow in. They're the new guys. I mean, they've all held their spot. Dennis, the last time Carlton won in Sydney, Prince William was 10 years of age, far too young to get married.
Quite right. Murphy towards the middle. Bets an awkward half volley. Sure did well not to get into his back. Judd a fumble. Comes wide, picked up by Kennedy. In front, it's gathered nicely by McGlynn. Knocked it down to his own advantage. Taken by Moore. Inside the last minute of the game. Mumford onto a loose ball. He's played pretty well tonight. Goes looking for and not finding McVeigh. Well done by Russell. The much maligned one. Knocked it down to his own advantage. Wetton fetched it and sends it up to the wing, or short of the wing, but between half-back and wing, White's got the footy.
Keeps it low. So only Collingwood has beaten Carlton this year. They've had a good 6 weeks, haven't they?
Yep.
And the really impressive thing, they would have gone in with a plan tonight to be competitive in clearances and tackles, and have absolutely smashed the Swans in that area. Really impressive.
They've outswanned the Swans tonight. A famous victory for Ratton. As it gets, I reckon, for Carlton at the moment, and Chris Judd, who led from the front, is with Tim Watson.
Well, Jody, it's been a long time since you've been able to win up here. 18 years, that must be satisfying.
Very satisfying. You know, they're a goal kickers. They're top quality side, and very hard to beat here, so we're wrapped to come over the 4 points.
It seemed like the game changed a little bit when the conditions dried out a bit for you blokes. Did you feel that?
Look, I think it was pretty slippery all night, but certainly I think we rolled the sleeves up tonight, and it was a really hard fought win.
A really solid effort too from the midfield tonight. I mean, you need that when you play against a side like Sydney.
Yeah, one of the things we spoke about all year is we just want even contributors, want everyone to contribute something, and I think we all did that tonight.
And Eddie Betts found some real form tonight.
He was super, wasn't he? He was pretty much the difference, so it was great to see.
And what about yourself? Was it a tough game? Did you feel like it was a really tough physical game?
Yeah, it's always pretty hard against Sydney. There's always a lot of stoppages and a lot of body contact, so we're wrapped.
This is a lazy 20 or something possessions from you first possession from the centre bouncers tonight.
Very nice. Feel part of it.
Well done.
He's a beauty, Lee, isn't he?
Oh, yes. It's so many times we've seen him impose himself on the game when his team needed him the most. They're the great players, the players that can actually lift a team that's struggling.
Carey did it a lot. They're the guys that can make a difference, can't they? He did tonight. He actually made the difference. Oh, what a win. And for the Swans, 2 consecutive defeats at home. When we arrived here tonight, we thought the conditions would suit them, didn't we?
Well, they probably did when it was the wettest early in the game. The Swans were the team that were on touch. Their forward line was just operating marginally better, but terrific effort by Carlton in the second half to kick 9 goals in difficult conditions.
Well, Brett Ratton, it's a huge night for him, I think, Tom, don't you? I mean,
The fact when you travel and you know history's against you, he'd be absolutely wrapped with the effort from his charges tonight.
Tim's got him now.
Well, Rach, you just said to me, you beauty, you must be really satisfied too with that victory.
Oh, it is. It's been a long time since we've won up here, and we came here with a plan, and I didn't think we executed it that well in the first half, but just to see the reward for effort tonight was just, it was great. It's really pleasing to work and get a result.
We watched you ride a couple of those goals home tonight too.
I think it's an emotional game, and when you sit here and in these conditions, you think you're going to score a goal and it's a missed kick because of the conditions, and then just to score a couple, and especially Jeffy Garlett's goal, it was just a beauty.
At what time of the game did you actually think that you had it in your grasp?
When the siren went.
Not before that at all?
I think Lee Matthews said once, about the minutes and goals scenario, and when there was 2 minutes to go and we took that mark, I think Laidler took a mark in the back 50 there. I thought we might have the game, but it's just great to get a win.
And really proud of the team tonight?
I think so. I think the skipper just led from the front. He was amazing. I think just his work in close, and then just to have 2 and 3 hang on to him and still get that ball out. It was just he led by example.
He's played some great games. Has he ever played a better game than that tonight? Given the circumstances of the game?
Maybe the time of the year. I thought his final last year, his third quarter, was just something out of the box, that elimination final against Sydney. But tonight, his 4 quarters, I don't know how many possessions, but just his work rate was amazing.
Raz, you're always generous with your time. Thanks again.
Good on you, Tim. Take care.
Yeah, great stuff, Tim. Eddie Betts, Chris Judd said he made a difference, but well, Judd's had many great games, but he seems to save his best for the Swans, and he's been doing it as an Eagle, and tonight as a Blue. It was 71-87 on a Friday night at the SCG.